That's it. I've said this before with the NRA. People love to point to the NRA to say that the NRA is the most powerful lobby in America. It's like the NRA is the reason why we have, no gun control. It's like there's truth to this, for sure. The NRA, first and foremost, is interested in conveying the profit incentives that the gun manufacturers have, and making sure that American politicians never step out of line. However, the NRA or even other gun lobbyists are not the reason why American politicians are so pro-gun. Okay? America is pro-gun. And therefore, the NRA is there to kick in with donations in times of importance when politicians feel like they have to respond, like in the aftermath of Sandy Hook. Okay? I remember I covered it. Like, there was in the aftermath of Sandy Hook, Americans got together and there was a bipartisan bill that was pushed in Congress. Okay, it was, I think, Mike Crapo and the other guy, I forget who it is. Anyway, they put forward a bipartisan bill to universalize background checks. Okay, to just like stop some of these loopholes. Yes, in 2013, I was literally at the Young Turks. And there are videos of me from like 2014, 2015, and even in 2016 where I talk about this issue specifically. You can go find them if you want. Anyway, I was doing research at the time. But listen, when Sandy Hook happened, people were shocked. Okay? People were horrified. It was the closest that we ever got to any sort of reasonable gun control, or at least like moving in the direction of reasonable gun control. There was a bipartisan bill that was put forward that was supposed to expand background checks and close some of these loopholes for background checks. There was a lot of appetite for this amongst the population. Even NRA card-carrying members themselves wanted an expansion on background checks. But the NRA, with all of its money, went to every single congressperson and told them, do not vote for this bill. That's what lobbying is there for. At times when the public gets very angry about a particular thing and demands change, and politicians are forced to respond to it. But then lobbyists come in and say, don't do that. You're not supposed to do that. You can't do that. We gave you a lot of money. That's what lobbying is there for. It's there for that. It's there for writing legislation because politicians are lazy. They don't want to write it themselves. It's there for reading the legislation, you know. It's there to add additional provisions to legislation, like sneak it in. It's not universally there to like hypnotize politicians. And AIPAC works in a similar way. That's why you see sometimes congresspersons that don't get that much money from AIPAC that are still fucking firmly committed to Israel. Why is that the case? You know?
They were called anti-Semitic. They were called Hamas. They had like UN workers being killed because they will tell you it's NRA, it is Hamas. It's just like it's so fucked up, right?
It's very fucked up,
right?
But what I'm trying to understand, and what, in your opinion, how do we solve this? How do we have peace? Like everyone wants peace, but how do we?
How do you get peace? Yeah. You need to get back to the root of the problem. This is a genocidal country who's like basic, who's holding your politicians who have the power with the balls.
So what needs to be done?
Well, you need to vote those fucking people out. Right, that's the I know it's not, you don't have an immediate thing, but you have like a.
You're saying American politicians out?
Yeah. Do you need to vote them out because these? Why would you vote?
Every American politician's been loyal to Israel, though, right?
80% of
to the Israeli government.
What? Not Zohran. Yeah, no, Zohran. Yeah, Zohran is not. He's one of the few. Imam Dani. Yeah, like he's the few. Yeah, I mean, this is the problem. If you actually stand against the tide and you say like, I'm not going to be loyal to a foreign country, being called anti-Semitic, it's crazy, right? It's like, how do you feel as an American when 80% of your representatives, all of your mayors, most of your governors are loyal to a foreign country? In any other scenario, you will call that fucking treason. Right? So you see, and I'm sorry that I don't have an immediate like answer for how to fix this, because this is happening because other things has been happening for fucking years. If you have the strongest presidents in the world being blackmailed by fucking pedophile, this is crazy, man. This is crazy, right?
Fuck. Yeah.
So so I understand like the heat that you got as kids. I'm sorry, you're not kids.
We're
as
not.
young men,
Yeah.
like at least you are like, but you are not an American politician who have been paid to be a fucking traitor. Your biggest mistake that you were not prepared, that you were not informed, and you didn't do enough effort in order to inform yourself. That's a big mistake. But I honestly,
Yeah.
this dwarfs next to the fucking daily treason that we see with American politicians that allows this to happen, that goes into the media and launder Israeli crimes. This dwarfs next to those fucking media people who are just mouthpieces of propaganda like Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk, Megyn Kelly, all of those fuckers, right? These are like 100% propaganda pieces for a foreign country. You have been betrayed by your politicians, by your media, by many of your influencers, because they are being fucking paid. Right? So as much of a stupid stuff that you have done, for me, in my book, you guys, like, at least you are now seeing what you're happening and you're trying to make sense out of it and you're trying to educate yourself. And I hope that after this, that you would go on. I don't want you to say like, oh, we're going to go back and doing stupid shit. Guys, you need to be more involved, at least educated, right?
Yeah.
Right? And I think maybe other influencers will see this as like, okay, the next time I get this fucking invitation from Israel, no, I know what I'm stepping into, because it's not just like an innocent trip. It is not just innocent
Well,
propaganda.
nothing's free, right?
What? Nothing is
Nothing's
free, ya habibi. Nothing is free, right?
Not the way the world works, right?
It is. So and again, I'm not coming here. I'm not. I told you before, guys, and I know. I just like be straight. Like those guys were fucking scared shitless when I told them I'd do it live. I gain nothing from destroying you. I gain nothing from dunking on you, right? I would actually rather deal with you as my younger brothers to understand what has been happening in front of your eyes all of that time, and maybe in the future you will make something out of it.
I'm glad it wasn't me that did this and it was Bassem Youssef that did this, because if I was this nice, my audience would be fucking stabbing me, and every other charlatan would be online being like, Hassan was so nice because he loves Steiny. He actually probably secretly got paid by Israel. Although I learned everything I did about this conflict from Hassan, I am far more radical than he is now, and therefore I know he should have went there. He should have went there and given Steiny a Hamas banner. And because he didn't do that, he's fucking morally bankrupt.
Whether you learn or not is going to be up to you from now on.
Shit's dark.
That's just dark, man.
Do you ever get scared talking about this stuff?
Yeah. Well, I've got canceled.
we
I
need
have many of
24-hour
my
security.
shows
Can you
being
tell Gabe?
canceled.
We need 24-hour security after this one.
No. Good. Just know, which is crazy. Also, you are American. You're Canadian, and you're living in the West with the free world, the freest country in the world, and you have to worry about speaking about a foreign country. It's crazy, man. It's dark. And listen, I need to address this because, like,
Yeah, I was already harder than
I feel for you,
Bassem was to them, and people were still like, you're not being mean enough.
Right. And I think we should, like, I want you to actually talk and talk about how difficult it is for you being like, because I'm sure there's like friends from you've already been hated by one side,
Yeah.
but there are people like from your friends, your immediate community, who are actually like, or already angry. You said many times, there's nothing for me to gain from this. You said this many times, and I want you to give you the space in order to just like talk about this too.
Yeah, I just think the lack of education and stepping into something so serious was probably a mistake.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, even since the Netanyahu interview, like just the amount of stuff I've tried to consume, like it really drains. It's really draining. And the issue that I'm having too is like when you do your research, everything, it's just like so opposite. So you're
Yes.
consuming from both sides, and it's just like, which one do I believe?
Exactly.
And
So
I think that's a
I
problem.
don't think there's. I don't think there's. I mean, to step in there with Netanyahu, it wouldn't have been even something that we could have prepared for in a week. I think in
Yeah.
our position, like
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
you got to be super qualified to do that, and I understand that.
But also, you see, what you have said is very important, that the amount of information, that the conflicting information. So instead of going, that's why I chose this. I instead of telling you this is wrong because, and this is wrong because there's evidence, instead of providing evidences, how do you deal with narcissistic psychopathic behavior? You block them. You know that everything that comes out of their mouth is a fucking lie. I just showed you that they have bribed our politicians. They harbor pedophiles. They have killed American soldiers. They have done so much bad. They have lied so many times. So there is no reason for you to believe anything that comes out of their mind, right?
Also, we're going to be providing a list of people that are legitimate reporters that you can follow after the live is over.
Okay, let me say this in the mic. So in order to provide this, and I think this is something that you can actually help in, there's going to be a button, a click for people having sources.
Are we gonna have it in the description?
Yeah,
we're gonna put it in the description.
including Jewish historians, Israeli historians, so people don't say they're biased. We'll talk actually about the conflict and what Israel have done to those people from a Jewish point of view, who were fair, right? So you wouldn't say like, oh, just like the Arabs like doing. It's not Hamas propaganda, right?
Yeah, because no matter what, when you're Arab or you're Muslim, like you're biased. This was really funny. Hen Mazik post, horrific. An FSU student was attacked at the gym for wearing an IDF shirt. A Jewish student at Florida State University was just working out when a woman saw his IDF shirt and snapped. She screamed in his face, called him a murderer, and got physically aggressive before getting kicked out. This is Jewish life on campus. School is where students should focus on their education and growth, not be constantly on guard to avoid becoming the next victim of a hate crime. It's a hate crime because I'm wearing a SS uniform to the gym. Oh my God.
Fuck Israel, free Palestine, put it on fucking Barstool FSU. I really don't give a fuck. You're an ignorant fucking son of a bitch. Fuck Israel.
Look how scared he got. Yo, this person said she beasted on him. God damn. She did. She went, fuck you, free Palestine, fuck Israel. Hey, yo, that's crazy. He's like, what do you mean? I'm scared. I was just wearing my fucking SS brigade, dude. I was wearing my fucking Nazi banner. What is happening to me? Yeah, is the Caleb Pitts.
Well. Guess who just got kicked out of Starbucks for, you guessed it, being white?
This is literally this is a 1-to-1. Straight up 1-to-fucking-1. Or you can do the Daniel Henschel a bit as well, where he like dresses up as Hitler and then he's like, I got punched again. Top responses. That's a terrorist organization that protests for the right to rape people, shoots people waiting in line for food, and targets refugee camps. They should be shunned everywhere. Yeah. It's so funny.
Fuck Israel, free Palestine, put it on fucking Barstool FSU. I really don't give a fuck. You're an ignorant fucking son of a bitch.
Exactly. That's funny. Hold on. I'm gonna fucking post that. I'm gonna repost that. I'm gonna repost Hen Mazik for the first time ever. Bro, it's like, what is this? Y'all, I'm sorry. I thought I could do Joker Hitler today, but I can't. I thought I was better, but I'm not. I feel so scared and alone. Oh, it's so good. Dan has reached a different level of comedy where he will. I think for the longest time he had a bit where he had a separate account that was constantly talking about how Dan Henschel has fallen off and he's no longer funny. Clodal Top, thank you for the 20 gifted. I go to FSU, they instantly suspended the girl from campus and are looking into criminal charges. I mean, of course. What did Randy Fine say? That he wants to eat her? I've worked with the university. She has been suspended pending expulsion and barred from campus. In Florida, we don't mess around. Of course. Like, this isn't like that one dude who was doing the fuck all Jews shit at the Barstool at the Barstool bar in Philadelphia. Like, this is a person that's kind of valid, you're at the fucking gym literally repping IDF merch. Suck my dick. What do you mean? Oh, I'm sorry. People don't like that you're wearing the fucking merchandise of a Nazi army. Oh my God. What's next? Wow, this is really messed up. This is really messed up. They're coming after me, a 20-year-old Rear Admiral General of the IDF. Attorney General Pam Bondi. Thank you, President McCullough, for your leadership and prompt action. Anti-Semitism will not be tolerated in Florida or anywhere else. Oh my God. They got the Attorney General on this? Bro, I'm sorry. This is fucking insane. Oh my God, this country sucks so much dick. Oh my God, this is the fucking stupidest country on the planet. It's getting to a point where if literally someone screams in your face that they love the genocide that's taking place and you turn around and you say, maybe that's fucked up, you go to jail. Okay? Nope. Jail for you. You don't like Israel's genocide? What are you, anti-Semitic? You're going to fucking prison. Hope you like prison. This is ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous, dude. Oh God, this country sucks so much ass. It's getting worse every fucking day, bro. I mean, it's not even a hypothetical. They literally did that to the Turkish American student, the Turkish student on a student visa who wrote an article about how fucked up it is that Israel is doing a genocide, and she was black bagged off the street. It's so goddamn cooked. It is so goddamn cooked. This country is so fucking cooked. Wait, there's an essay. Oh, from Oh, God, I'm not reading this. What the fuck? Senator Elisa Slotkin. Last night, I unfortunately missed a vote of series on 2 joint resolutions of disapproval regarding the sale of weapons to Israel. All right, I'm done with the Bassem Youssef thing. I want to listen to Elisa Slotkin now. The key line in the third paragraph. What is this? I owe it to my state to make it clear where I stand. Had I made it back for the vote yesterday, I would have voted yes to block offensive weapons to Israel based on my concerns over lack of food and medicine getting to civilians in Gaza. Oh, great. Thank you, Elisa Slotkin. Oops, you couldn't make it to that vote, though, unfortunately. But if she did, she would have voted so hard. She would have voted so hard. It's just, fuck, I just missed it.
My next guest is a former Michigan congresswoman who served 3 tours in Iraq as a CIA analyst and was recently elected to the United States Senate. Please welcome Senator Elisa Slotkin. Welcome. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
Lots to talk about. But before we get into it, I learned something interesting, that your family's farm was responsible for the Ballpark Franks recipe.
Our
Ballpark
family
Franks.
company. Yeah.
They plump when you cook them.
Yeah.
Dung, 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 dung. Ballpark Franks. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Were you allowed to eat any other?
I like that Colbert is, really calling to task these powerful elites that are taking his position away because of the interest that they have in, I guess, the interest that they have in like moving in a right-wing direction. And in an effort to do so, he has decided to talk to a former CIA analyst and yet again, one of the more conservative congresspersons in the Senate. Fucking fantastic. Thank you, Colbert. Yeah, tonight is Kamala Harris. It's great.
Franks.
Yes, we were allowed to eat other hot dogs because we helped start Nathan's Hot Dogs, so a different type of hot dog.
Wow.
New York audience usually.
So this is a hot dog empire
Yes,
you came from.
So
Just hot dogs or all cased meats?
other cased meats and
Yes,
other
sausages,
products
brats?
and other things. No, not brats, not brats.
That's Wisconsin.
Right.
Exactly.
But yeah, my great grandfather emigrated here through Ellis Island and started a small meat company and became a big meat company.
Well,
We're very proud.
you even hosted a Senate hot dog party for National Hot Dog Day.
I did.
Which is what day?
It's like the third.
Oh my God. Breaking Points really dropped the ball by not asking Senator Slotkin about her opinions on hot dogs versus sandwiches. Ha ha ha. In January 2024, she signed a letter criticizing South Africa's genocide case against Israel, calling it grossly unfounded. She clearly went on Colbert to do a cleanup job, but this comment section actually introduced me to the fantastic Breaking Points interview, which I never would have seen otherwise. Nice job. Shame Slotkin wasn't asked about hot dogs on Breaking Points. She could have shown that bold energy of hers. Amazing. The fact that this is one day later than after her train wreck interview on Breaking Points is such a jarringly clear example of why legacy media has record low trust, and you'll still get consultants paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to go and ponder with each other. Why is trust in our institutions failing, and what can we do about it? Shameless. These guys are not Hasanabi heads. These are YouTube commenters. This is crazy. I don't even know if I'm like that interested in what she has to say. Did she get asked about Israel or not?
You said in your intro, I go into the field. And so my job was to understand the terrorist groups and the militias that were shooting at U.S. forces and plotting against the U.S. homeland.
Okay.
So who are their leaders? How do they move money? How do they communicate? What's the hierarchy so that we can make sure they don't attack us, right?
Did you wear disguise?
I did not. I carried a weapon, but I actually, in my first tour in Iraq, bunked with a woman who was in charge of disguises and kind of kitting out different outfits so that a woman in full cover could have like a place for her weapon. It was just, she was like a CIA seamstress, and it was a really very cool job.
When you were doing this kind of work, when you were over there in country, did senators and congresspeople come over and you would have to like tour them around and stuff?
Actually, including some of them that are still there that I serve
Wow,
with now.
so you were the person
I was
saying-
like the baby analyst.
You'd meet them at the airport and bring them like, wow.
and give them the update on the field update on what was going on.
So what did they do that you will never do? Because
Senator Slotkin missed the vote on banning arms sales to Israel yesterday. Instead, she went on the Colbert Show where she called for aid to Gaza.
People have been losing for years, right? But to me, the responsibility.
I don't know. Are people drones? I feel like they are, right? There's no like unified front where people can just like gather information. So I guess like when they hear someone like her say like, oh, we really got to take care of the Gazan children, they go, oh, that's great. I'll remember that. She's a positive force. They don't know her background. They don't know her actual opinions. They don't know that she has been in direct opposition to any sort of like meaningful ceasefire. I mean, she literally did not. She skipped out on the vote. She skipped out on the vote to deny weapons transfers to Israel because she was doing this fucking bullshit puff piece.
To get humanitarian aid in is not an open question. We know what that answer is. And just this, literally today, we put out, like, you know, Michigan is a state that has the largest Arab and Muslim American population in the country, a very large Jewish population. A ton of people feel this at a very visceral, personal, family level. And for the first time in the past week, I had a rabbi and a Muslim leader come to me and say, we want to do something together. We will pay for all of it. We'll buy all the formula, baby formula, and all the clean water. Please, can we just green light that aid always getting in, no matter what's going on with negotiations, no matter what's happening? We put that out, pushed it with Rubio today, Secretary Rubio. But that to me is like people of many different faiths understand that humanitarian aid getting into children is an American value, a Jewish value, and a Muslim value. So that to me is, it's a requirement.
ultimately,
It's cool to hear this from a literal girl boss drone pilot. Yes. Also, Kamala Harris is to appear on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert tonight. This could be an adversarial interview with a very powerful person that gets to the heart of the Dems base deep disgust with their party and the failures that led here. But he's probably just going to ask her stuff like, now is bacon really a spice? Come on now, while she cackles maniacally. He's just a late night host. What do you expect? Well, this is the one and only interview she has done since losing the presidential election. Do I wish she was getting interviewed by 1955 Edward R. Murrow? Sure. But this is who she chose, and we play the hand we are dealt. This was the other relevant clip from the Colbert interview. Oh, is this where she says they're corn-fed?
minded people out there like to think that some of the trouble the United States has is because of the what they call the deep state.
Right.
Okay, and as a former
Dude, Colbert Report, like Stephen Colbert literally doing PR for the fucking deep state is, or not the deep state, but like the CIA is insane. Like, what is happening, dude? What is going on? Of course, nobody fucking listens to this shit anymore. What are we doing?
is there a deep state? Or what do they mean by deep state?
Yeah, I wish people could understand that a lot of the guys that I serve with, guys and gals at the CIA or at the Pentagon where I served, first of all, a lot of them are former military. So, you know, if you can't be like pro-military and then...
Why is she doing this media campaign? She's hailed as like the moderate champion of the future Democrats. That's why. She is seen as the #1 candidate for like the future direction of the party. If the Democratic Party had its way, and there wasn't this like pesky democratic process involved, okay, they would have a million Elisa Slotkins, like former CIA girl bosses who can at least like speak. You know what I mean? Who can like speak at least somewhat convincingly. That's it. It's that's the reason why they're propping her up. They're propping her up as They're propping her up as like the girl boss that will lead the Democratic Party in the new direction. Why? Because she's younger, and she is at least like somewhat telegenic. They are terrified of more Zorons propping up left and right. They do not want that shit. They do not want that at all.
Anti-intelligence community and deep state. But a lot of the guys are also like wearing mom jeans and white sneakers on the weekends. Like these are good corn-fed people who just want to help their country.
Eating ballpark franks.
Eating their hot dogs or doing whatever. And this idea that there's some network of people that are running the world, it doesn't really match reality. And these people in the dead of night are doing things to protect this country and make sure things don't blow up here. And for me, the way
we had to do a coup in Chile. Otherwise things would blow up here, okay? You don't understand. We have to topple people voting for socialist candidates and democratic socialist candidates or even social democratic candidates in countries that we have grand designs for. Otherwise, we would blow up. We would literally kill ourselves if we don't topple yet another fucking country, okay?
that Trump is going after them is just, it's particularly, first of all, it's nasty. Second of all, it's completely counter.
She's like, we had to torture Iraqis. Otherwise, America would blow up. And that's what I did. Y'all, I'm screaming, K-Hive, we are so up. Your Secret Service code name is Pioneer. You were the first woman in history to be elected Vice President of the United States. On July 21, 2024, your running mate Joe Biden announces that he will not be seeking re-election. The presidential election will occur on November 5th, 2024. You have 107 days. Y'all, I'm screaming, K-Hive, we are so up. And it sounds like the opening to a freaking thriller. Former VP Kamala Harris announces new book called 107 Days About Our Failed 2024 Campaign. By the way, Patriots, trust the plan. I told you this is exactly what was going to happen, and it's happening, okay? I told you she's going to be quiet until she comes out and fucking does a book announcement, okay?
Have put 15,000 people in jail in the West Bank. Nobody's talking about the West Bank. Just 2 days ago, a settler went in and killed a guy who was featured in an Oscar-winning documentary, and then the IDF came and they intimidated the rest of that guy family. You understand? This is happening on a daily basis. Imagine being a Palestinian, waking up, having like a settler who came from New York and just taking your house, kicking your people out, and if you stand against them, you kill them. You want like other countries to get involved. Who other countries to get involved? America, the strongest country in the world, is being cocked. But they're being dragged by the balls. They can't do anything because their politicians are being openly bribed by that regime, right? This is the strongest fucking country in the world, and they cannot do anything. And every time and then you have a slap on the, Trump, look, Israel shouldn't do this. And they do it every, you know how many times Biden, quote unquote, like stopped the arms like shipment and then they continued? This is all performative, man. This is all performative. All of these like bullshit statements from politicians that doesn't do anything while the killing is happening. You understand? So this is where you're actually like, why is like other countries are not involved? They tried to get involved, and guess what?
To be fair, it's not easy to come to terms with the fact that we are the bad guys in all this. It changed my whole world. I know. That's like the last hang up. There's two hang ups in this conversation that Americans cannot contend with. Number one, the scary Muslim barbaric rapist hordes are actually just simply operating on a totally understandable human desire of emancipation. And they're not just like reacting violently because they have like unlimited Jew hatred. Okay. That's number one. Most Americans simply cannot go above that point. They'll say what Israel's doing is horrible, it's violent, it's monstrous, but then also they'll always turn around and go, but Hamas, but Hamas, but Hamas, but Hamas. Okay, which is always like giving Israel permission to behave in the ways that it does. Maybe if it just like scales back the atrocity, you can just kind of look the other way and it's fine, right? It's not fine. the conditions that set up October 7 is not fine. Okay? That's number one. Number two is America's involvement in this. America's involvement in this is so significant that we are the bad guys in this. Like, we just are. If you consider what Israel's doing to be a genocide and you think it's bad, then you either think American politicians are being bullied into submission and refusing to respond to their own fucking populations, own voters, because like there's a Jewish mind control or something, or you recognize that American politicians actually like what's going on and don't care about the atrocities. I'm a believer in the second thing, not the first. I don't think it's a secret Jewish mind control or Jewish blackmail or anything like that. Jew this, Jew that. Okay? No. I think it's America's own personal investment in the region and how much of a formative role Israel plays in that design. Have they allowed Israel to basically take over and direct American foreign policy in the Middle East? Absolutely. I would say that it accelerated after Barack Obama. I think Trump 1 was the definite kickstart of like Israel grabbing onto the wheel and just fucking moving the car around. Because people point to like George W. Bush, neocons, certainly, right? That was a lot of Israeli influence. There was a scale back from that in the Obama administration. But of course, our commitment to Israel was still solid, make no mistake. But Donald Trump accelerated that process so dramatically. Like, I think previous Republican and Democrat administrations would have most likely pulled the plug on all of this a long time ago. Not even for, how are you so sure there isn't any blackmail element to this? No, make no mistake. There is a blackmail element to this, but it's not as significant as you think. If you think that Israel or Mossad has literally fucking piss tapes or sex tapes of every single American congressperson, you're out of your fucking mind. No. That's not the case. There is plenty of blackmail that takes place for one reason or another. I'm not even like, and bribery takes place as well. Lobbying is obviously significant, but it's a combination of everything. It's a combination of all of that. But the most important factor here is the allowance that we have given Mossad to even operate on U.S. soil, or the allowance that we've given Israeli officials to operate on U.S. soil with impunity. That is not because of the blackmail. That is because of Israel's position as an incredibly important asset in America's foreign policy. Israel's position historically as an incredibly important asset as an anti-Soviet destabilizer at a time when pan-Arabic nationalism was taking root in this region, a region that was very important for trade, a region that was also resource rich with oil. Okay? That's it. If Israel as a unsinkable aircraft carrier in a resource-rich region was not such an important part of America's initiative for the resource that runs the planet, okay, then we would not have allowed the Israeli espionage agencies to like even operate inside of America, or we would not have allowed Israel to have a sophisticated propaganda network that operates with no repercussions, with no pushback whatsoever on U.S. soil and in the Western world in general.